Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Testify with Ty. I know it's been a minute, but just been working, being busy, being a mom, wife, all the things, and really just intentionally trying to give content that glorifies the Lord. So let's go ahead and get started. I just wanted to talk about being in a hurry on this episode. In the world that we live in today, everything is fast paced, it's rushed with an I have to get where I'm going mindset. I'm doing everything in a hurry. I mean, rushing to work, rushing to our next destination in a hurry to get something accomplished or finished. And if we're honestly being real about it, we've gotten so used to moving fast that it almost feels weird to slow down. Like it feels like if we're not doing something, we're falling behind. Or if we're not moving, we're missing something. But honestly, I've learned over the past couple of weeks that sometimes hurry is not a good thing. Being patient, waiting on God, and really just taking your time can make a difference in your life. Because when you're always in a rush or in a hurry, you don't give yourself time to think. You don't give yourself time to breathe. And most importantly, you don't give yourself time to hear God. As a mom of four, I feel like I'm always in a rush getting them to school, church, their activities, I mean, whatever it is, mainly because waking them up is a task in itself. And I really hate being late. But I realized that I had to switch some things up so that I could better prepare for the next day and make transitions easier and smoother. Whether that was getting clothes out at night, taking showers at night, preparing lunches, things like that. So, what I realized was I didn't need to move faster. I just needed to prepare better. And all of this helped me to slow down and not be in a hurry. So I was thinking to myself, like spiritually, how can I prepare so that I don't feel rushed? Because the same way we prepare naturally, we have to prepare spiritually as well. We can't just wake up and expect to hear God clearly if our minds are already full and moving in 100 different directions. The Bible says in Philippians 4 and 6, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God. And when we really break that word anxious down, it basically means to fret or worry about something. So after really realizing that I was in a hurry because I was worried about missing out, worried that the timing was off, in a hurry because I thought I was behind or feeling the need to do something just because I felt like I had to. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was in such error with God. We are in such error with God when we feel this way. So I was leaning and trusting in my own abilities and the things that I saw, or really the lack thereof, and not trusting in God's timing. That's why I felt like I had to make certain moves by myself as if my Father in heaven was not with me. I sometimes found myself waking up and thinking about all the things I needed to get done. And my head was so clouded I couldn't even hear God speak to me. I mean, I was so frustrated and in a rush, just thinking about all the things I needed to get done. I know some of us can relate to that, especially mothers or just busy in general. Have you ever felt like you couldn't hear God's voice? Maybe it's because you haven't sat long enough or been still long enough to actually hear him speak. What I've learned is God doesn't move and confusion. And he does not compete with noise. Our God is a jealous God. And if we're always rushing, we'll miss him. And this reminds me of the passage in the Bible. I love this story about Martha and Mary. Martha was busy, right? She was preparing, she was serving, but Mary made a choice to sit at the Lord's feet and listen to him. But Martha was like, hey, Lord, you don't care that she done left me alone to do all this work. And honestly, Martha probably felt like how we all feel when we have a big event or something to do and the help just ain't helping. We're like, what you doing? Why am I doing all of this by myself? But the Lord had answered her and said, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken from her. Jesus was delighted that Mary decided to stop what she was doing and listen to him. Mary made a choice to put God first because that was the most important thing to do. And honestly, that should always be our posture at Jesus' feet, waiting for him to speak, waiting for direction. But how can we do this if we're always in a hurry, if we're always just on the go and not waiting? Being in a hurry pushes you to move outside of peace. It makes you feel like everything has to happen right now. Or if you don't do it, it won't get done. So just take a minute and just think. Think back on your attitude when you've been in a hurry. Did you snap at your kids, your coworker, husband, or friend? Were you agitated? I'm going to answer for myself and I'm going to say yes. And your answer is probably yes too. And if this is, something that you're struggling with, then maybe you should probably take a minute and slow down. I know when I'm rushing, my tone is not a nice one. It's aggressive. And I honestly start to become frustrated and peace has completely left me. And that's how you know you're moving too fast. God is the God of peace, not confusion, not frustration. That's the enemy. God is not telling me to hurry. He's not telling me to figure things out on my own. He's not telling you to figure things out on your own or to move in stress. And if you find yourself feeling like that, stop and just ask yourself, who am I serving? Am I serving the God of peace or is this the enemy? Slowing down can look different for everyone. And maybe turning off your phone, putting it on do not disturb. I do that a lot. Deciding to take a self-care day. I'm working on this. And ladies, fellas, everyone, we should all work on taking more self-care days because they are important. This could look like a day where you are just alone and it's just you and God, or just simply taking a deep breath and saying a prayer to God in that moment. Whatever you need to do, make the choice to slow down. Because when we slow down and eliminate the hurry out of our lives, we make room and space for Jesus to enter in. So I want to encourage you today to just slow down, make space, make room for him because he's waiting for you. God said that he'll never leave us or forsake us. So in our hurry and in our, you know, everyday life where everything is on the move, everything feels so fast. Put God first and slow down. I remember just a couple of weeks ago, my mentor was telling me that I needed to do two things. One, slow down and stop being in a rush. Stop feeling like I needed to get everything done because I wasn't giving my body and, myself time to rest. And two, take more self-care days. And I really listen to that. I've heard that so many times, and probably a lot of us have, but actually putting that into action can be quite hard because you're breaking habits. But I want to recommend a book that my mentor actually recommended to me, and it is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. It is a great read. I'm still reading it, but honestly, the first couple of pages will eat you up. Okay. Especially if you're always, in a rush or in a hurry. And it just breaks down how that will hinder you, how being in a rush and in a hurry will hinder you. And it also talks about how to eliminate that out of your life. So I pray this podcast bless you on today. Feel free to share it if you believe it will be a blessing to anyone. And as always, remember to stay rooted, stay hopeful, and don't forget your testimony matters. So tell it.